Hey guys, Matt here at Brewery. Happy Homebrew Wednesday to you. We're going to enjoy a beer that was sent to me from one of the folks that's in my hub. I'm not going to say what the beer is or who's in it because I don't want to give away anybody that's in the hub. Let's see what we got. I just want to thank you for, you know who you are, for watching this video. Thank you for sending me this. Love getting little gifts. Yeah, that's probably not all going to fit in here. Well, it might. The last bit behind there. Look at that. It's a nice, like, rosy color. It's pretty cool. So we got that, like a soury, tart, cherry. Yeah, kind of smell to it. Cheers. Oh, that's delicious. I don't get many sour beers. That's what this is. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it because, just, you know, like I said, I don't want to give away whose it might be. It was not one of the entries, I'll say that. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out who it is. This was just an extra that was thrown into the box. But yeah, very cool. Thank you. I guess I could do a quick review of it, but I'm not going to. Like I said, you know, it's not one of the entries, so don't try to figure it out. Got a few updates this week. Let's see here. First and foremost, the collaboration beer that I did last week with Wally, that beer is moving along. It dropped way down to 1.008 and it was finished. It wasn't bubbling anymore. So went ahead and threw in some frozen strawberries. Pretty much did the same thing Wally did. We're intentionally trying to do similar things just to see what the difference is in the beer. We already know that our processes are fairly similar. The grain bill was the same, and the only thing that we changed was the hops and the yeast. So the same thing we did with the strawberries. I pretty much waited till primary was done, and I just threw them straight into the primary. 4 pounds. I let them thaw, maybe halfway or so. Crushed them up while they were in the bag, and then just chucked them into the fermenter. So, and then it started bubbling away again. So we'll see what it gets down to. It's still bubbling today, so I'm gonna probably check it tomorrow and see what it got to. Oh yeah, this is definitely a sipper. Awesome. So while you were watching that video, that was the second beer now in a row that I brewed where I was having issues with the wort pump. I don't think it was I'm not sure that it's the pump or if it was something in the lines. I couldn't quite figure it out. I'm leaning towards the pump. So I put a ticket into Blickman, and they actually sent me a new impeller. This is the old one. So I already put the new one in, and one thing I noticed, I'm hoping that this is going to solve the issue, but they sent me a new impeller. They sent me a new gasket. Not that I really needed it. It still looks like this is in fine shape. And they sent me a new washer that goes inside the impeller shaft. I replaced everything just because they sent it to me. And one thing I did notice though, bring this up to the camera, the old one. This is the old one. So the old one has 3 slots on it. You know, 2 here on the side and 1 up here. And it kind of looks like it's, I don't know, it looks like it's kind of like, you know, banged up or you know, dented or pulled on. The new one only has these 2. It doesn't have this one up here. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that was the issue. Maybe there's some sort of defect in it. I don't typically take the pump apart. Maybe every couple of brews I might take it apart and just make sure there's nothing in there. There never is, but I do it anyway. And I just let it dry out when the brew day is done. I figure it's probably good practice to get into, because I already clean them pretty good at the end of every brew day. I usually run through some PBW or alkaline breweries wash or hell, even just a Star Stain rinse. I do something through all the equipment, all the fittings, all the kettles, the pumps, everything. So except for the water one. The water one is only gets water ever through it. So the water pump I just kind of leave alone. The same thing for the HLT, but everything else I generally clean after every brew day. Sometimes longer or shorter, but one way or the other they get cleaned. So I'd like to believe that my practices are decent enough that it's not going to cause any kind of issues. But I found that to be really interesting. I thought that may be a defect. Just, I don't know, just looked a little bit odd to me. So we'll see. Next brew, we will find out. When they sent me that, they actually sent me this thing, which is kind of cool. Sort of like an empty fill. You need to refill your beer. Glass jacket, so I thought that was kind of nice. Let's see here. The other couple things I got going on here. I've been working with the kegerator rather than having to replace a bunch of stuff for the beer gun. I'm coming up with something that I'm hoping will work. I kind of gave up the other day. I have a 3-port manifold, and the end on it is it's got the sort of plug on the end of it. I had a heck of a time trying to pull that off. Still haven't. I just gave up with it on the other day, and I haven't needed to bottle. So I'll revisit it again. But basically, I bought a new valve and a new piece of tubing. And the idea here is that I just want it to be plug and play. I don't want to have to be unscrewing fittings and undoing everything every time I go to bottle and put the gun back together. So the idea with this will fit in the plug, and I'll just leave this coiled up and sitting in there. It should be enough. It's 6 foot. This way, when I'm ready to bottle, I'll just pull it out of the kegerator, screw it on, and I'm good to go. The idea is just to try to make this as plug and play as possible. I was going to try to use the quick disconnect fittings, but the gas was leaking a little bit using those, so I figured this is probably a better bet. One other thing is I did buy a pump. I got some video I'll show you at the end of this. But this was actually recommended by this particular pump was recommended by Wally. I guess it's something he does, and so I can't seem to get my, now it's starting to cool off, so it's probably not going to be an issue anymore. But one of the things that was getting frustrating during the summer months, and it's actually been summer weather up until last week. I can't get the water cold enough to chill the wort down below 80. So my thought originally was I was going to take the chiller that I have, dunk it into a bucket of ice water, and then just that way run run something through there. The only problem with that is the chiller would be upright, and I don't know what that would have done. I mean, I'm sure the pump wouldn't have had any issues with it, but it just felt awkward having it tilted. So I'll throw this into a bucket of ice water and just recirculate it. Actually, that kind of gives me 2 wins on that one. One, I'll be recirculating ice water, and I can just keep dumping ice in there if it melts. The other thing is I won't be running the garden hose constantly and wasting a lot of water. I'll just be recirculating the same bucket of water. So here's hoping. Now this pump did come with some fittings. I don't need them right now, but they're just regular hose barb fittings, 3 different sizes. They're plastic, just like this whole thing is plastic. But I actually had a couple of these extra quick disconnect fittings, so I just put that on there, and I'll just use my existing hose for that, and that should do the trick. So one other thing that I thought was kind of funny. I actually was organizing the brew area the other day. I found these. I think this is hilarious. I must have been planning a brew, right before we were ready to move. This was I found this stuff in a sealed bucket that was off to the side that I hadn't used. So I must have been planning some kind of brew, and I was looking at the ingredients here, and I think the only thing I can come up with is that maybe I was going to make like a Blue Moon clone, because I know I've made that before, and some of the ingredients kind of talk to that. I mean, there's coriander. That's kind of it right there. There's some sweet and bitter orange peel. This is actually crushed, so if I use any of this stuff, I probably won't use this. But this is honey malt. We got some white wheat, some flaked wheat, and then 8 pounds of two-row. I mean, the stuff is sealed. This one's actually vacuum sealed. Actually, they're all vacuum sealed for that matter. And I bought them at my homebrew shop. They actually have the tag on there from Pennsylvania when I was up there. So I don't know. I might try to make something with this. I don't, we'll see. I already have a couple of brews planned up, so it's not going to be anytime soon. I got the coconut porter that I planned on brewing this week and never got around to it, so I'll probably now brew that next week. Still got the RX Car Bomb Stout, got all the ingredients for it, and I will probably brew that soon as well, but not before actually working with Mike Dean. Him and I collaborated with came up with some ingredients for a brew. We're gonna make a ghost beer, and it's gonna be rather unique. I don't want to give too much away about it. I don't know if Mike wants that given out. So yeah, we got all the ingredients figured out. We'll see how it goes, and probably be brewing that up here in the next couple of weeks. Hell, it's going to be a Gose Cuervo, I think is how you pronounce that. It's going to have some influence from tequila. The idea there is it's going to be a ghost beer, something I've never done. I've never done any souring, but it's actually going to have some ingredients in there to kind of have a bit of a margarita kind of a feel to it. So it should be quite interesting. So more to come on that. Or Mike can explain it a little bit better in his Homebrew Wednesday video. So, but hey, that's really it. That's all I have for you guys this week. Just a few updates. So have a happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. See you next week. Cheers. And one last thing before I forget: SJPC Challenge Round 2. You guys, your scores are due in to me. If you're in my hub, it's due in to me this Saturday, November the 9th. I send out my reminder emails to everybody in my hub. If you didn't get one from me, then you need to send your scores over to SJ. We're the 2 hub coordinators for round 2. So it should be quite exciting. See who gets to move on to the next round. So more to come on that from SJ, and we'll be looking for those results this weekend. So anyway, see you guys later. Cheers. All right, picked up a new pump. Trying something different this time for chilling. So we're going to give this a test on the next brew day. Got these fittings that screw right onto the chiller that I got from my local homebrew store. These are just garden hose female adapters that go to quick release. I got them from Brew Hardware and just connected my hoses up to there. And it's just going down into a bucket that has a little submersible pump, just recirculating the water in this bucket. So the idea is I'll fill this up with cold water and ice, and just keep adding ice if I need it when I'm trying to chill the wort. So I'm going to give this a try, I think, next brew day and see how it does.